So welcome everybody to this latest video on 162 Maths, and in this video we'll be going over an AQA GCSE Maths Foundation topic test around algebra recap and extension. Now, as always, there'll be a copy of the test paper for you to download and have an attempt at by click on the link in the description below, which I recommend that you do before watch this video or while watch this video as we go through the answers. Now, although this test is named as a algebra recap and extension, it doesn't cover every single topic in the foundation syllabus relating to algebra. So it's really important that you do expand your knowledge of the other topics in algebra. Now, these questions are designed for a non-calculated paper, but could easily appear on a calculated paper with the numbers being a little bit more complicated. But also, not every question on a calculated paper has to use a calculator. So let's get started on the first question. Now, the first question says match the boxes on the right with the equivalent box on the left. One of them has been done for you. So for this, what we need to do is we need to establish which of these is a formula, which of these is an equality, which of these is an identity, and which is an expression with three terms. So a formula is basically where you've got more than one letter and an equal sign. So that one is going to be this one here. An inequality is one that's got an inequality sign, and the only one that has got an inequality sign is this one here. An identity is one that's got three little lines, and that's going to be this one here. And expression with three terms, an expression is basically where you've got no equal sign and you've got three things basically being added or subtracted, and that is going to be this one here. Moving on to question 2, it says that a ruler costs 20 pence and a pen costs 15 pence. Write down the total cost of X rulers and Y pens. So for this, all we need to do is do 20X plus 15y, and reason why we're using 20 and 15, not 0.2 or 0.15, is because they want the answer in pence. Moving on to question 3, it says work out the expression for the nth term of this sequence. So for this, what we need to do is work out the difference between each of these numbers, which is 4. So it's going to be 4n and plus 4 at that. And then we need to think, okay, how do we get from 4 to our first term? We need to take away 2. So then the nth term is going to be 4n minus 2. Then moving on to question 4, which looks at factorizing. So here our two terms have both got numbers, so we want to take out the highest common factor of 4 and 6, which is 2. Then what do I have to multiply 2 to get 4x? Well, I need to multiply 2x. And what do I need to multiply 2 to get 6? That's going to be 3, and there's a minus in between. Then we're looking at double brackets. So for this, what we need to do is we need to find two numbers that multiply together to equal positive 12. And added together that equal minus 7, and those two numbers are going to go inside our brackets. So the two numbers you need to be thinking of is minus 4 and positive 3. Minus 3. So minus 4 minus 3. So minus 4 minus 3, and we're good to go. Moving on to question 5, it says simplify fully. So here we're collecting like terms. So here we're collecting our t's and w's. So looking at our t's, we've got 5t plus 3t, which is 8t. And then we've got 2w minus 1w gives us positive 1w. Now I could write it as 8t plus w. Any of those would be absolutely fine. Moving on to question 6, we're expanding and simplifying. So again, expanding the brackets, we get 6x minus 2 minus x plus 2. Now just need to be careful with your negatives, and when you haven't got a number outside a bracket, just assume that there is a 1 there. And then from this we collect our x's, so that becomes 5x, and minus 2 plus 2 just becomes nothing, so we're just left with 5x. Then with question 7, it says solve, so we want to get x by itself. So first thing we need to do is get rid of the 14 by take away 14. So I've got 3x equals minus 12, and then I divide by 3. So I get x equals minus 4. Then moved on to question 8. So again, first thing we need to do is expand the brackets. So we've got 5x plus 1 equals 2x plus 8. We then want to take away the smallest amount of x from both sides. So we take away, what number that is, 2x from both sides, in which then we're left with 3x plus 1 equals 8. And then we take the 1 over, so we end up with 3x equals 7. Then we take the 3 over, so we end up with x equals 7 over 3. Now I'd leave it as a fraction of that as well. Moving on to our last question, it says here is a graph of y equals 3x minus 1 and it says use the graph to find the solution of 3x minus 1 equals 0. Now this part here is the line. So that there is the line plotted. And this is where the value that we're looking for. And this is basically the x-axis. So what we're looking for is we're looking for the value where the line crosses the x-axis. And it's at this point here. Now I would say your answer should be anywhere between 0.3 to 0.35. So any of those numbers I think would be fine to get the correct answer. The actual answer is 0.33 recurring, but they're actually wanting you to use your graph. So again, you wouldn't then go on to solve it algebraically. So certainly do not do this. I would scrap that because they are wanting you to use the graph.